Hi everyone, and welcome to Tarot for You 444. Today we're going to look at the Divine Masculine and see what's going on with him, what he's thinking and feeling and doing. So yesterday I was feeling like not doing a video because, well actually it's more of a podcast because you're just listening to me. So yeah, I didn't want to do one yesterday because the energy was quite muddled, and so yeah, today I was thinking that we take a little look about what's been happening, because I feel like the divine feminines have been really purging lately. So if that's happening with divine feminine, then of course usually it's also happening with divine masculine. So pretty much the overall energy that we're getting before we go into what he's thinking, feeling and doing is that in the recent past, if you can hear some noise in the background, it's just I have some dogs, so they're just walking around, so that's what the noise is. And I'm also outside, so you might hear some birds and other noises, just so you know, which is good too because they can be synchronicities. Okay, so let's get into the overall energy before we start. So in the recent past, divine masculine felt like he wanted to take a leap of faith and move forward physically, pertaining to the twin flame journey. So, on his mind ultimately is that feeling of, I want to have, my everything. So I want to have, this happy home, this wonderful feeling, this joyous outcome. But, he just doesn't know how to get there. He doesn't know how to bring his feelings most prominently, because that's what I'm being shown. His feelings are definite, but he just doesn't know how to come through and say those feelings, because I guess with divine masculine, in a sense that once they do say that, there is that chance that there could be rejection, number one. There is also a chance that, when you're vulnerable and put your heart, sort of on a platter for other people, especially if it's your twin flame, then, you can be heartbroken if it's not reciprocated. So there's a whole lot of solar plexus energy coming and a whole lot of root chakra energy coming. So if you've been feeling anxious at all, or a little bit, I don't know what the word is, it might be antsy, then that's because divine masculine is just having a little bit of a think about kind of, and a feel about, where his heart really does lie. And it is first and foremost with the divine feminine, whether he's saying that or not. Okay, so let's get into that. That's the overall energy that we're getting here. So really, we're going to move now into what he's thinking. And for some reason, what he's thinking isn't a right now energy. This has been what he's thinking about recently. Okay, so he has been trying to manifest, a monetary gain or something that he really wants to action in the physical realm. And this has kind of been really, it's a little bit difficult for him, because he kind of gets this call to, whether he understands the twin flame journey or not. He is getting the call to, look out into the universe and have that sort of longing, passionate energy, and he's thinking about this quite, strongly, because he realizes that the divine feminine is actually his world, and he sees her as someone who is abundant, in terms of money, but not only that, in terms of spirituality and the way she behaves as well. So, you know, what I'm liking here is that when I'm getting the energy of what he's thinking, it is based, you know, quite strongly on what he wants in the tangible physical world, as well as being balanced by what he wants on an emotional level. So, you know, the things that he's thinking about, you know, he's not all in his head at the moment. He's not depressed, he's not anxious, he's not, you know, crazily thinking at the moment. He's actually you know, putting some forethought into the thought. And I'm also saying, you know, there's passion there, there's a real feeling of forethought being put into this, as well as a feeling of love. I'm also getting the feeling that he wants to travel to Divine Feminine. You know, it's like a longing energy, as if he wants to, you know, touch, feel and taste her world. You know, although he's got a lot going on in his own world, he still wants to taste, touch and feel her, because this is primarily a soul connection. But because we reside in physical 3D bodies, of course there is that longing of, you know, wanting to hold hands, wanting to feel and touch and taste and smell, and, you know, perhaps even, you know, have chemistry with, you know, the other half of one's soul. That's a longing energy. So that's what he's been thinking about, that, you know, in between work. He has actually been thinking about that. He may also be looking up into the stars and gazing and thinking, you know, that feeling if you look at the moon or if you look at the stars and you kind of go, oh wow, that's so good. And that's the kind of feeling he gets when he thinks of Divine Feminine, which is a really beautiful energy. So now if we look into what he's feeling right now, this has been, you know, for quite some time, he was in the energy of, I can't make a decision, I don't know what to do. A lot of these divine masculines that people are listening to on my channel will actually know that they're the other half of your soul. So they actually do and have researched and have looked into the twin flame dynamic and journey. And the truth is that this is horrible, but it actually scares them. You know, this is how they're feeling. So, you know, they feel like it's a scary place to be, because it's kind of like, for some reason I'm getting the image of, like, if you walked, you know, say you went camping and someone set up a camp shower for you, and you you know, you took all your clothes off and you had your shower and you felt fine because there was all this I don't know, you know, like a I'm trying to explain the you know, like a curtain around, and then, you know, a wind blew and the curtain came off and you were just standing there naked. That's the energy that I'm getting, is that, you know, coming forward for him and saying, you know, expressions, you know, that he loves you, or that he's thinking of you, or that he wants to be with you on a long-term level, or even just to come and see you. That's what's really been the hard thing in the past. And it's because of this energy that, you know, he needs to heal himself. He needs to heal that inner child wound where he's, you know, most of the divine masculines and some of the divine feminines too have had, you know, a past or a childhood which has created wounds. And so, you know, that's a really huge synchronicity. So yeah, those hopefully he'll stop barking in a minute. So yeah, so anyway, I'll continue. I'm hoping they're going to stop barking. Yeah, so this inner childhood wounds has created a space where he doesn't necessarily feel, safe to, to say all of his truth, because what if he gets rejected? What if this doesn't last forever? What if this is just fairy tale stuff? What if it's all too, if he comes through and says, I love you, or want to spend the rest of my life with you, or I know you're the one, or those types of statements, then, it's like putting your heart on a platter. It's like being naked at that camping ground and everyone saw you naked. It's a very vulnerable place to be. So yeah, just be aware of that. If you are coming through saying to Divine Masculine that you love him, or you're in love with him, or you miss him, or you want him, or come to me, that kind of thing, just remember that regarding love, a lot of these Divine Masculines have not only had their heart broken by other women necessarily, but by their own families and by people who they really trusted and gave their love to. And so, if he acts like he's bored, or he acts like he doesn't really want to come into that space with you, it's because, that feeling of vulnerability is not an easy place to be. Okay? So yeah, he is also holding a secret. He's feeling like he wants to tell you something, and it's pretty strong actually. It's like, he's gone away and he's had a little rest, and he's thought about everything that you've ever done or said or been like, and when he thinks about that, what's really coming through strongly is that he kind of goes, oh shit, I think I could actually be with her for the rest of my life, and if she wasn't in my life, I don't know how I could possibly go forward because of the support that she gives. Whew. That's a really strong message coming through there. But so anyway, for Divine Masculine to be in his emotions, really, really hard to do. So they kind of, I think sometimes when they're on their own, they tap into it, usually at night time after they've either, worked or had a long day, or, the last thing that they might think of is Divine Feminine before they go to sleep. And, I think it's important. Sorry, I was just getting a couple of messages coming through at the same time. So yeah, what's really important is that Divine Feminine just keeps her heart space open, keeps sending love all the time, good intentions, unconditional love, because people say and act really strangely when feelings are involved. And as most people already know, when Divine Masculine goes missing, he could be working, he could be busy, but he's also, especially if you've said something, romantic or kind, or, you might have floored him a little bit. So just be aware that sometimes they go away on purpose just to try and assimilate what you've done or said, or because it's a really strong connection. It's so magnetic that it's like you're dancing together, and sometimes you can be worlds apart. You could be in different countries, you could be from different backgrounds, you could be from different cultures. And so the beauty of the twin flame dynamic, which is a really important thing I want to mention here, is that it doesn't matter how different you are. The lesson here, if there's an age gap, if there's a, he's not my normal type, or she's not my normal type, or and vice versa, or can be for same gender couples as well. They're not the normal usual thing that I would go for, but yet the soul, your soul and their soul, is completely compatible in every way. So, you know, the beauty of the twin flame dynamic is that there may be differences and there also may be similarities, but when you come together and you experience the moment of, you know, the right now, that present moment, is you'll feel together the soul connection, you know, as if you're coming home. And that's, you know, that's something that you can't get from any other relationship. Okay, so let's move on into the action space now. I think it's really important here to see what he's going to do. So in the past, he felt like a little bit detached because of his feelings, and he didn't know what to do with the feelings. But most of the divine masculines will, if they're not contacting you directly on social media, they will be looking at your social media. Or if you don't have social media, which, you know, some people don't because they're spiritual and they, you know, choose to not be on social media. I feel that he is, you know, asking other people about you, or asking, you know, asking his higher self to contact your higher self, and really getting this 5D connection. So when you go to bed at night, you may actually feel his presence. You may actually feel, yeah, I'm getting that really strongly. So just be aware, like when you go to bed and tuck yourself in, and, you know, can you feel him there? Can you feel him with you? You know, can you, you know, be not quite tired enough to tune in a little bit and just listen and see if you can hear him speaking to you, so your, you know, your higher selves are connecting. The next message we get regarding the action space is that he really, really sees a home with you, a foundation, and that's really beautiful. This, you know, we're getting this passionate feeling come through, you know, that I want to make love to you, I want to be with you, I want to hold you, I want intimacy with you, I want us to have, you know, a friendship like no other. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful energy. Okay, so we've got 4 cards now from Divine Masculine for messages, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, so the first one is, I keep myself busy with the things I do, but every time I pause, I still think of you, which is what we were saying before. I won't give up on you, so don't give up on me, please. And I think that's specifically related to the twin flame journey, and I do believe that most of these divine masculines that I am channeling really do believe in the twin flame journey and know that you are the one. Then we get, why can't you just tell me what you feel, because how you act is confusing me. Okay, so that's just a message for divine feminine to be clear. Just in general talk, when, you know, when you're texting and stuff, sometimes things can get a little bit misconstrued because, you know, your accent or your way of talking, you know, might not come across the same on a text as it would if you were talking to him in person. So just be aware of that. That's really important. And then for those divine feminine that may have expressed their love and said that they love divine masculine, getting the card coming through of, I'm sorry for hurting you. I never wanted you to feel bad in any way. And lastly, connected to that message there, which was, I'm sorry for hurting you. I never wanted you to feel bad in any way. We've got a long tight hug would be perfect right now. So yeah, I'm really feeling strongly divine masculine is you know, has got a longing for divine feminine. It's extremely beautiful energy. It's, you know, this outpour of love for divine feminine that he feels like he may not be able to put into words, but he's feeling it. He's really feeling it. You know, he's still working on himself. He's still working on his career. He's still doing things, you know, in the tangible physical world that he needs to do, obviously, because we live in a world full of money. Or, you know, commitment of other things, whether he's got, you know, karmics and other things that he has to has got commitments with. But yeah, he knows, Divine Feminine, he really, really knows that you are it. And, you know, we've even got the sexy feeling coming through that, you know, I really want to be with you and feel you and, you know, be next to you. And, you know, it's that long hug. It's that real longing, that, you know, I want to hold your hand for 3 hours kind of feeling, which is, it's childlike, and it's also very, very passionate. Childlike not in the sense of children, but in the sense of, you know, wonderment, how children feel, you know, when they've got that wonderment for someone. And he feels really much, really fully like that with you. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this reading today. If you're listening to it on another date, it's okay, because it's timeless. So I invite you to look up anything I've mentioned that you may not have heard of before. If that's the word twin flames or divine masculine, divine feminine, please look those terms up in your own time as you are guided. And I also invite you to listen to your own higher self in regarding making any decisions on the journey. And if you'd like to subscribe, share, or if you'd like a personal reading from me, my details are down in the description box, and I'd really love to hear from you. And yeah, I look forward to working closely with you in the future. If it's not the right time now, that's fine. But if you do need some guidance, some added guidance that pertains to your particular situation, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'd love to help you. Thank you. Bye.